All right, welcome to the Right Now Project. The Right Now Project is a podcast about finding and owning who we are. It's about learning to trust ourselves, finally. It's about learning to trust our guts. It's about uncovering our authenticity and allowing who we are to soar. My name is Guy McPherson. I'm the founder here, and this is my journey too. If you're looking for something easy, this is not it. However, if you're ready to step up, ready to explore who you are, the ups and downs, the scars and scrapes, and realize the incredible value in that, this is your place. Let's get started. All right, welcome back. Today is it's kind of a big day because this is the day that I published the podcast about my divorce. And it's out there. And, I thought about it and I was like, oh my God, what are people going to think? They're going to think I'm trying to be exploitive. I'm trying to, diminish the value, the importance of this event, and on and on and on. There's so many voices and barriers and filters we all put in front of us, and it's like there was this thinking, if you planned out to do something and you physically put down objects that represented certain filters. Okay, I'm going to put down a book that represents what people are going to think this about me, and then I'm going to put down a glass and over here that represents people are going to think this about me. And if we kept doing that, we would find that there were all these objects around us and all these barriers, and my God, it just gets in the way. It gets right. You go nuts. I wanted to do this project, and I'm trying not to care what people think. It's hard. Of course, it's hard. Do I want people to listen? Yes, I do. Do I? Am I worried about it? Yeah, to a certain degree. But I can't do it. You can't do a podcast like this and worry. What the hell? I mean, you can, but it's going to be so diluted. I feel for me. It's going to promote exactly what I'm trying to dissolve in my life, which is inactivity, stagnation. That's the word here, stagnation. And one of the things that I've had to move forward, this whole podcast, the Right Now Project, really came from, it was birthed from in the wake of finding out that my ex-wife wanted a divorce. There obviously, not obviously, but expectedly, there was a lot of anger there. There was a lot of fear there. There was a lot of uncertainty there. There was a lot of worry there and concern there and shame there and on and on and on. And one thing, and I've talked about this, one thing that crept up was an energy, was a focus, a power that really fucking surprised me. I was like, what? A creativity, a yearning for more creativity. And along with that, like rolled up in there is, I'm continuing to work. I'm continuing to do my other podcast, the Trauma Therapist Podcast, and I have sponsors there, and that's where I make my revenue. And continuing to interview incredible people who are so inspiring, and they inspired me in turn, unwittingly, to step up and challenge myself to be who I am. And that means expressing who I am, Hopefully someone's going to find, hopefully you're listening to this will find a nugget of something in here, something of worth in here. And that's what this is about. It's about moment to moment being willing to trust our gut, trust ourselves, and honor who we are, and believe that our not negligent ability to disclose and be vulnerable and to just put ourselves out there for the hell of it. No, but to do so in the manner of service, our calling, right? Who we are. I mean, did I ever think I'd be doing a podcast after, I was out of school for 18 years. I went to 1 year, so graduated high school, and then was out, and then went to 1 year Philadelphia College of Art, what was Philadelphia College of Art, and then played music, and for 18 years was out. So 18 years I played music, I traveled, I wrote fiction for many years, didn't publish anything, and then went back to school. And then went back to, I'm not going to go into the whole story. It's a long one. But did I ever think I'd be doing a podcast? No. With a doctorate? No way. And that's something I'm still kind of dealing with, But damn, when do we get to the point where we are like, we accept ourselves, we honor who we are? I feel a lot of us, right? We move through life with this chunk of clay we're holding in our arms, where it's like we're holding it right by our gut. Maybe it's about 15 pounds. It's a good sized chunk of clay, maybe about the size of a basketball. It's kind of heavy. We're walking around. Okay, I screwed that up. I feel that a lot of us walk around with this crystal ball in our hands, right? That represents who we are. We want it to be perfect. We want it to be nice. We want it to be clear. We want it to be clean. And then we step and we trip and it cracks. Okay? Rather, to me, I feel actually our authentic selves are that piece of clay, that hunk of clay that we're carrying around, and we walk and it gets bumped and gnarled and dented and scarred and scraped, and we trip and it falls down. Oh, we pick it up, through those blemishes and through those scars, those indentations and those little twigs that are in there that we got to. That's who we are. I feel there's beauty in that, right? And that's what I value. That show me your scars and your scrapes. Show me your indentations. Show me your screw ups. Come on, man. We've all got them. And it's our ability to communicate in that language that allows us to feel we're okay. We're human. When you put this within the context of healing, when if you're a therapist and you're sitting there and you're able to embody this wholeness, this authenticity, this human beingness, this ability to be real, to not feel the need to cover up who you are and to portray this ideal of what a therapist should be like. And I was doing this when I was seeing clients a while ago. But if you're able to instead communicate, relate the imperfection and beauty of beingness, the person sitting across from you, people who've been traumatized, we feel that. We feel that human beingness. And maybe for the first time, that will allow us to think to ourselves, to feel to ourselves, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm okay. Maybe that shit I did whenever. Uh, yeah, it sucked, but that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. Maybe I can deal with that. I can move along. I'm okay despite that. Or I'm okay in spite of that. We all have that. And we're all so freaking scared to share the imperfections of our lives when in reality, it's those things, those elements, those experiences, those not so perfect, beautiful moments that make us real. And that's how we connect with people, right? When we honor that within ourselves, when we truly honor that within ourselves, it doesn't become a game. It doesn't become a quote. It just becomes who we are. People feel that. I feel that. I feel that in the people I interview, man. I feel that. And that's why when my interviews, I go for that. I'm amazed and inspired by that. That's, to me, is magic. We're in awe when we encounter someone who is there themselves. They're not hiding. They're not pushing. They're not pulling. They're not trying to cover up. There's a calmness there. There's a inhalation, exhalation that just goes. It flows. And I'm not talking about some perfect Zen master type stuff. I'm talking about imperfect human beingness. Imperfect human beingness, which in and of itself, to me, is awesome. It's awesome. That's what this is about. And believe me, it's a day-to-day for me. It's a process. It's a practice. It's hard. It's hard. It's not easy for me to do this. But I feel it in my bones that right now there's no other place I should be than standing up as I am in front of this friggin' microphone with my coffee, got my blueberry muffin here, I'm ready to go. Ready to go. And who am I talking to? I don't know if I'm talking to anybody right now. I don't know who's listening to this. I don't. But I feel that each of us, each of you, you need to follow who you are, to trust who you are. If it means going back and looking at that stuff that you did and having to work through that, maybe you don't need to do that, but maybe it's going around in your head and preventing you from moving forward. In that case, maybe you might benefit from that. Being accountable to who we are. Okay. We need each other. We respond to each other's core, not the facades we hold up and put up, right? We communicate. There's one of my favorite authors, Bruce Perry, psychiatrist. He wrote an incredible book called The Boy Who Was Raised as a Dog. And most recently, he wrote a book with Oprah called It's Not What Happened to You. Awesome. Dude, who's been on the other podcast a couple times. Just really super inspiring. In that first book, The Boy Who Was Raised as a Dog, it's divided up into kind of chapters and vignettes. And he's talking about this one client he had been seeing when he was a young doctor, super green, and he didn't know what the hell he was doing. But one of these clients, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but he was working with this young kid, and I believe this young kid was a particular foster child, and the foster mom was this amazing woman. She was just so loving, and she would take these kids and just love them unconditionally. And it was that act, that simple act of loving these kids who'd been severely traumatized, right? She wasn't a doctor, she wasn't a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist. She just hugged them and rocked them and was present with them, didn't judge them, right? She was just there. That type of beingness, that type of being without judging, without speaking, without changing or fixing or helping or healing, right? But in actuality, it was loving. Okay, that purity, we feel it. We feel it. Doesn't need any degrees. Doesn't need any certificates. We feel it. And yet, it's not often that we see that. It's not often that we see that. All right, I was actually going to talk about something else today, but I think I'm going to stop there. And I'll make it a topic of a different podcast. Look, I want to challenge you today. Step up, open up that little door inside of you. And you might be scared to open it up and let out that tidal wave, that ocean of power and potential and beauty, but let it crack open just a little bit. See what happens. Trust your gut. Step by step by step. Have an awesome day. Thank you for being here.